on the ground, live and direct, to give us the latest details of what is happening there right now. Sheila, if you can hear me, please bring us up to speed with what is happening at Endarasha. All right, so we'll be getting the details of exactly what is happening shortly. We'll be joining Sheila Chelangat. We right now have her on standby. Let's hear from her. Sheila, over to you.
Right. Good evening, Betty. Not such a good evening here from Nyeri County. We are coming to you live from Mount Kenya Hospital here in Nyeri County, where some of the students from the Hillside Endarasha Primary School were brought here for checkups, and most of them actually were discharged, with only one currently being held in this facility. It was quite a sad day, Betty, having to watch parents wait for updates longer, as early as from 5 a.m. in the morning, right after they heard about the incident occurring, and to even watching some of the parents who had positively identified their sons after being allowed to get into the area of the incident. About the statistics of what happened is that the school had a capacity of about 800 students, and the dorm that was affected was a dorm that was hosting boys and had about 156 occupants in it at the time of the incident. 70 still remain unaccounted for, with about 17 having died from the incident. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua spoke earlier on and said that one more had succumbed to injuries. Let's take a listen at what he had to say at the time.
Let me say a couple of things on behalf of my colleagues who are here. First, that we are all here, and I want to confirm to the country that all hands are on the deck to make sure that we carry one another along as a country, as we mourn this tragedy together. This tragedy unites us even more and makes us realize our oneness, our indivisibility as a country. Our condolences as government have already been given out by His Excellency President William Ruto, who is away out of the country on official duty. For me and my colleagues here from both national and county governments, we can only echo those condolences. The second point we want to make is that the President of the Republic of Kenya has directed all government agencies, which includes national governments and county governments and all the other public agencies, as well as other stakeholders, to get deployed to assist this community to come to terms with this tragedy. We are all here. The Ministry of Interior will coordinate, even as different agencies perform different roles which have already been agreed. I want to thank the first responders, those who tried their best to save our children by trying to respond to that emergency. We are grateful to the Governor of Nyeri County, the political leadership of Nyeri County, the Senator who is here of Nyeri County, Senator Wamatinga is here, the Women Rep of Nyeri County, Mheshimiwa Rahab Mukami is here, the MP for Kieni is here, the Honorable Njoroge Wainaina, the MCAs, both the MC of this area and the MCAs of Nyeri, many of them are here, and therefore under the leadership of Governor Kahiga, thank you very much, the political leadership of Nyeri, for being there. The county government of Nyeri were some of the first agencies of government to provide support. I also want to thank my colleagues from the Central Regional Security and Intelligence Team.
Right, and as you have seen, several government officials indeed visited the incident, the scene of the incident, led by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua as well as the Interior Cabinet Secretary. The DP Gachagua actually calling and assuring that the parents as well as those who reside near that school, that anyone who was responsible for that incident will be brought to book. Let's hear what the DP had to say.
Judicial investigations, and that is ongoing on, and when the report
wakati mkasa ilitokea, mnajua tumepokea wageni kadha wa kadha.
Kibweka. Sasa alafu mbwa akibweka, nikasikia ng'ombe sijui kikula nini hapo nje, lakini sio ng'ombe. Sasa kuamuka nikaona moto. Sasa kuona moto nikapika duru kabisa nikapiga duru kwa sababu niko karibu. Sasa watu wakakuja, sasa mimi nikaanza kushota maji. Kwanza kushota maji alafu na kunini hizo aero kuchukua teli kuweka mchanga kuweka. Sasa nikaona watu wamekuja sana. Sasa mimi nilikuwa na mtoto huyu wangu. Sasa nikarudi nikakuchukua mtoto, nikaenda kuchota maji na yeye. Kwenda kuchota maji na yeye, nikapatia akosaidio ingine. Nikawapatia, alafu kuwapatia nikaona watu wamekuja, lakini wamekaa sana. Wamekaa sana karibu masaa 2. Sasa mimi nikupiga duru. Sasa watu wakakuja. Sasa kukuja tukachukua maji, bucket na vitu vingine ya kuchota mchanga na maji, kumwagilia. Mwaki inazidi tu. Sasa mimi nikabeba mtoto yangu, nikatokea huko juu, nikaanza kupiga duru ingine. Nikapika duru ingine, alafu nikaona watu wakiteremka na huko chini.
Right, Betty, as you hear rightly, those were the sentiments of the neighbors, parents, as well as residents of that particular area, very concerned about how this tragedy just happened and why the response was so untimely. Back to you in studio, Betty.
All right, Sheila, I don't know if you can hear me. I just want to, get some information from you. Over during the day, we've had the reports that there's some children who are missing. Maybe you can talk to us about that, and also what is the situation at the school currently? Has it been closed totally, or what can you tell us about the activities going on right now at the school?
Right, Betty, on the issue of some of the students missing, that is why about 70 of them are still unaccounted for as of now. And Interior CS Kithure Kindiki stated that some of the parents yesterday, after receiving news that the incident had occurred, came into the school, picked some of the children, while other children also, while trying to escape from the incident, did go into the neighborhood and went into the homes of the neighbors. So that could explain why some of them are still missing as of now. As of 7:30, as we were leaving the premises of the school, DCI officers who were in that particular place were wrapping up their investigations of piecing what just might have led to the incident occurring. So pretty much the students had been evacuated. Most of them had been evacuated from that particular school, and we just did leave DCI officers who were going through that incident of the scene of the incident.
All right, Sheila, something else maybe you can talk to us about. What are the residents feeling about this tragedy that happened today? Of course, considering that there have numerous, efforts by previous governments to make sure that at least there are, ways that this, cannot happen. Multiple exits to the dormitories. What are the residents saying, and who is being questioned with regard to this terrible tragedy?
Betty, when we spoke to the residents, it was quite emotional for them. This school is literally inside Kieni. It is in the interior parts of this county, and therefore response did get in late to the calls of the residents once the incident had occurred, and so most of them are really questioning how this incident just occurred and why the response was very untimely in this particular place. And we have seen President William Ruto speak to it in his latest address tonight, where he has said that all the difficult questions will be answered as to why and how this tragedy did occur, and anyone who would be at fault will be liable for this particular incident. And so the residents could just hang on to the word of President William Ruto as they try and, get themselves to feel a little bit better of what just happened. It is quite sad. That particular place, Betty, was very emotional. Parents waiting on to just see if their sons are okay, and the residents at large. It was very an unfortunate incident, Betty.
Finally, Sheila, maybe you can talk to us about, you're talking about the schools that are around that area. Do you know of maybe any immediate efforts that schools around that area are just making to just make sure that, this does not happen again?
Right. When we had a recce of that particular area, that school seemed to be the only one that we saw, a primary school, and then the others were high schools. And as per what has been there is that, students who should not be in dormitories alone, and the dormitory should not be locked from outside when the students inside. And so I'm sure that as of this evening, a lot of safety measures have been taken and put in place for some of these schools that are boarding schools in that particular area, Betty.
All right, thank you very much, Sheila Chelangat, there reporting for us from Nyeri County. She has been covering this particular tragedy all day, and of course it has been such a sad day right here in our country, as at least 18 children have tragically lost their lives. Of course, you've seen how parents have been devastated, and the whole state at large, the whole country just really crying out with regard to the loss of their children. So let's now just hear what one parent really had to say about the loss of her child.
Tell us how you got to know the fire incident, and then have you found your child, and what information are you getting from the school management?
Kwa majina naitwa Simon Mwangi, mimi ni mzazi hapa. Msichana wangu wako grade 8 anaitwa Esther. So hii mambo ilitupata kwa off guard kwa sababu nilipigiwa na mzazi mmoja akaniambia ni kama hapa kuna moto imetokelezea. So kufungulia TV in the morning, it was early in the morning, nikaona kweli kuna mambo ambayo haipendezi. So kutoka hapo, mimi nimetoka Nairobi. So kutoka hapo sisi tukachukuana na bibi yangu, sasa na mzazi mwingine tukaitana, sasa tukakuja. Tumefika hapa allowed a few minutes past 10, na so far hakuna mambo mingi tumeupdateiwa. Although tumeona waziri wa interior Mr. Kedeke alikuwa hapa na kadres watu wa media na PS wa education Kipsaria Mr. Sang alikuwa hapa. So wametuambia tukae kama wale wameumia, tumesikia wameenda hosi, tumesikia kuna mpaka Mahaga, although it's something which is not confirmed, and we are waiting to see now the official statement from the school. Yeah.
And have you found your child? Have you talked to your child?
Yeah, tumeongea.
What is she telling you?
Okay, my daughter tumeonana na yeye, she is very much okay, although unajua kuna ile traumatized kwa sababu hiyo ni kitu very scary. But she's composed. Yeah. Lakini wanatuambia tu hata hawajui, walisikia tu duru, wakasikia ni moto. So kutoka hapo hakukuwa na any mpangilio, ni ujiokoe. Yeah.
And now with the way that communication will happen from the school to the parents, are you satisfied with how they're handling the situation?
Okay, I can't.
Just a parent there really just recounting, the tragedy that happened today. And we just want to take a look at some of the fire